How's it going, everybody? My name is LucianDev. Today's tutorial is we're going to be going through the setup process of Proxmox. So if you want to virtualize a computer that you have laying around, set up and make your own kind of home lab, this is the video for you. So to go ahead and get started, we're going to hit enter where it says install Proxmox. You move your mouse, your arrow keys up and down to select. We're going to have install Proxmox selected and enter. Then we're going to wait for it to load. All right, now that we are loaded, we get the EULA. We're going to go ahead and hit I agree to that. Then here we select the hard disk. I only have one. I'm running it in a virtual machine to show you guys this tutorial. But if you actually have like a server or something, like if you want to virtualize an actual server, you can come in here and you'll be able to set up like your RAID and all that kind of stuff. But since we only have one hard drive, I'm going to leave it as default here. It's 100 gigs. We're going to do ETX4. We're just going to hit next. Then here we're going to select, we're going to type in our country. For me, I live in the United States. And we'll do Chicago as the time zone. We're going to hit next. This is going to be our root password. So just type in your super ultra secure password here. And then your email address. And then we're just going to hit next. And then as long as your server is connected to the internet, it's going to fill out this information for you automatically. So you can change this. So let's say I want it to be like, I don't know, Lucian.local domain or .local, you know, whatever you want it to be called. You can change the IP here. So if you don't like this IP address, you can change it. For my sake, I'm just going to leave this as the default. Gateway is going to be the default as well for me since I'm running in a virtual machine. This would be my gateway. And then the DNS server is fine as well. Again, it's going to pull all this information from as long as it's actually plugged in to the internet, to the internet. It's going to autofill your actual gateway and a DNS server for you from your ISP. So we'll just hit next on that. And this is a summary of all of our information that we just put in. Automatically reboot, hit install. And now we wait for it to install Proxmox. And once it's done, it will restart the server and then we'll go from there. All right, now that is done, we can go ahead and access the web interface provided to us via this URL right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, and now that we are in our web browser, we're going to go ahead and navigate to the address it told us to, which in my case, it is 137. So 192.168.218, 137, port 8006. Yours will be different. Then we're going to hit enter, telling us that it's not an SSL cert, but that's okay. Then we're going to type in our username, which default will be root, and then a password which we used during the installation. This will come up saying invalid for a not a valid subscription, but that's okay because Proxmox is 100% free. The subscription covers things like help and support, like tech support, things like that on the Proxmox website. But we're good. We're professionals over here. We don't need that, right? So let's go ahead and hit OK. Close it. It will pop up every time you log in, by the way. You just hit OK and it closes it. You don't have to worry about it. So first thing that I want to do real quick is that if we look here, our stuff here, so local PVE, we can install VMs and containers, which we'll talk about here in a second, on this drive. This local VM here, this LVM, I mean, is 45 gigs out of the 100 gigs that I installed Proxmox with. It's 45. However, we cannot install VMs on this drive. Since I'm only running one hard drive, and if you're only running one hard drive as well, you want to follow these steps that I'm about to take you through. But if you're running a server where you have tons of hard drives and you have RAID setup and all this stuff, you don't need to worry about this step. This only applies to people who have like a single hard drive or something. So we're going to free up this, and we're going to give us that extra space to our local drive here so we can create some more VMs, because 36 gigs honestly isn't a lot, especially if you plan on running like a Windows VM or something like that. That's not a lot of space. So let's go ahead and we're going to remove that. So we're going to go to our data center here. Go to storage, local VM. We're going to hit remove. We're going to hit yes. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. I did this before, so I know for sure it works. All right, so now we're going to access the shell here real quick. And then in here, we have 3 commands that we need to type in to resize our local drive. So we're going to do lvremove. Then we're going to do /dev/pve/data. It's going to ask us if we're sure we want to remove it, and we're going to hit yes. And then we're going to do lvresize -l plus 100% free and /dev/pve/root. This is basically going to allocate 100% of whatever's free to our local drive. I'm going to hit enter. Resize successfully. Amazing. Then you see it's going to bump it up to that 91 gigs here. So then when we do one more command, which is resize 2fs/dev/mapper/pve-root. Hit enter. And now you can see it has been resized. So now we can go on here. You can see it has 96 gigabytes free versus the 36 that we had before. We freed up the space and we added it to the local drive. So now we can create containers and virtual machines. So while we're actually in here, we're going to upload an ISO real quick. Let's see what ISOs I have on my computer. We're going to select a file. Actually, before we do that, I got to do one thing. Almost forgot. So if we go back to our data center here, under storage, click on this one, hit edit. We're going to want to allow a couple things, this image and container. But then we're going to hit OK on that real quick. There we go. That's going to be for a future step. So ISO image, upload, select the file. We'll do Linux Mint because that's what I have on my computer right now. And we're going to hit upload, and we're going to wait for that to upload and finish. All right, now that that has finished uploading, we now have an ISO stored on our server that we can call to later when we create a VM. I'll show you that. So let's go to CD templates here. We're going to do a template real quick as well. We're going to click on templates. Here you can choose their list of templates they got for the containers, which is not Docker. It just uses Linux containers. So you can choose what container you want to do. Let's just do Ubuntu. We're going to hit download on that real quick and let it download the container. All right, container is done like that. Nice. I like it. All right. So now what we can do is we can go up here and create a new VM. We'll just call it Ubuntu. We're going to do the OS here, do Ubuntu. We only have one storage location, which is a local, which we just did earlier. Linux is fine. We're going to hit next. System, we're going to leave all that stuff as default. For the size, we'll leave that at default 32 gigs. It's a Mint server. It's a Mint box. So actually, no, it's not Ubuntu. I totally forgot we're installing Mint right now, guys. That's Mint. Ubuntu's the container. Anyway, that'd be fine. We'll do 2 and 2. Make a total of 4 cores. And memory, 2 gigs. That's fine. Network's going to copy our host network, which is totally fine. We're going to hit start VM after I hit finish here. And that's going to start the VM. We'll see it pop up right here. Boom. Then we go to console here. And then just hit enter on that to start the live machine here. All right, so while that's booting up, let's do a container, because containers, like Docker, are super quick. So instead of hitting create VM up here on the top, we're going to hit create container. And then we'll call this Ubuntu. Password is going to be our root password. So let's type in a super secured password here. Then we're going to go ahead and hit next. And we're going to select that Ubuntu container. Hit next. Disks. Disk size 8. That's totally okay. 1 core. 512 megabytes of RAM. Killing it. All right. Leave all this stuff as default as well. And we're going to start that machine after we get done. Boom. Done. All right. So is our Mint server here. So now if you, it's like I said, go to here, click on whatever server you want. Console. Boom. You can open up. You can do whatever commands you want. Let's do sudo apt update, for example. Go ahead and update that server, just like that. And then our Ubuntu looks like it's up to. So we go to console, and then we're in Ubuntu. Default username will be root. We're going to log in, just like that. And we are in our Ubuntu container. And we're going to do sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Boom. Just like that. Now we have VMs. You can upload as many ISOs as you want and then create VMs. Create as many VMs as your computer can handle. What's great about this is considered a type 1 hypervisor. So your resource usage so much less than what it would be on type 2 hypervisor. Type 2 hypervisor, you kind of limit it on how many VMs you can actually make. But with the type 1 hypervisor, like Proxmox, there is no limit. The limit is your resources on your computer or your server. That's the limit. And then there's also clustering for this stuff too. So you can have multiple servers and then cluster them all together, but that's not for this video. But that's it, guys. Create your own home lab, do whatever you want, virtualize whatever computer you have laying around, and just have fun. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you on the next one.